What is happening, everybody? TC here with Smoky Mountain Knife Works, smkw.com. Today, it's all about blade steel. Yes, we are continuing on with our blade steel series, and we're going to continue on with this until we get through all of them. And we want your suggestions, okay? So any kind of steel that you're curious about, that you want to know more about, let us know in the comments down below, and we'll do a video on it. Now, today, we're going to be talking about A2 steel. How it was made, how it was developed, who uses it, and why. Before we get started, though, if you like this video, smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell so you will know when we drop new videos and tell you all about blade steels like this right here. Now, without further ado, let's light it up. So, A2 steel. How did it come about? You would assume that by the name, it would be in the same family as D2 and all the rest of the high-speed tool steels, and you'd be right. There's no firm date, though, to pinpoint when exactly it was developed, but it was sometime in the early 20th century. Now, high-speed steel was discovered in 1900. Now, this was the beginning of the tool steels, and with this discovery came the switch from manganese to chromium for hardenability. Yes, for hardenability. I know we usually look at chromium content as a basis for corrosion resistance. However, chromium is not a one-trick pony when it comes to steel composition, and its role in the early development of tool steels is evidence of that. Now, the very first high-speed steel was eventually developed into T1, and most of the early tool steels were made with somewhere around 4% chromium. Now, come the late 20s, early 30s, molybdenum was added, as they found that it added even more to the hardenability when combined with chromium. Now, what we know as A2 was widely available by the mid-40s, and it consists of 1% carbon, 5% chromium, 0.3% niobium, and around 1% molybdenum, and about 0.3% vanadium. Now, A2 has been used in everything from hammers to punches and wrenches to cutting tools because of its toughness, and it has been used as a blade steel for many, many years. One of the earliest on record was actually Ron Lake, who began using A2 and D2 in 1965. Now, he had gone to some different shows and stuff, and there might have been a couple of others that picked up on this and ran with it. Also around the same time, a man named George Heron started using A2 as well. Now, by the 70s, other well-known knife makers began using A2, and today it can still be found in the knives from makers like L.T. Wright, with his Bushcrafter and Genesis. I've got my personal Genesis right here from LT, the Larry Roberts edition, and absolutely love that thing right there. Even Bark River. Bark River has several knives that they use A2 in, just like this one right here. Also, one manufacturer that you might not anticipate using A2 is actually Hogue, and especially the way that they do their cryo treatment. A2 responds really well to that, and Hogue has done a phenomenal job with their A2 knives, with their fixed blades, making this an incredible outdoor knife, bushcrafting knife. And this one's really interesting too. A little side note, you'll notice this right here. I'm going to take a look at that one up close right there. This is a really cool little addition. So you've got a little Torx wrench right there that pulls out. You can take the handles off, and there's a little bit of hidden storage there in the handles on this EXF01 in A2 steel right there. The nice thing, too, about this one from Hogue is the blade's coated. So A2, as everyone knows, and I mentioned earlier, it's 5% chromium, is not stainless. So that's really going to help with that. So that's a manufacturer that you might not expect to be using a tool steel like A2, but they do, and it turns out great. Now, all of these fixed blades right here, and that's what you're mainly going to find A2 in, is going to be fixed blades nowadays. And like I said, I'm really, really digging my Genesis here. Love that thing. And A2 works well because in those types of knives because of its toughness. Its hardness is really good, but its toughness and edge retention is phenomenal. Now, in testing, A2 shows great balance between toughness and edge retention, beating out some key players in both. And it's important to note that one of its biggest attributes is its air hardenability, hence the A in A2, as all the A-series tool steels are actually going to be air hardenable. So what that means is that they can be quenched with air or with liquid. Now, that's a huge advantage to Knifemakers, as it makes it a lot more forgiving and easier to work with as well, and also a little less expensive to produce because it's more forgiving. You don't have as much waste. Now, is A2 a good blade steel? Absolutely. I mean, it's got really well-balanced characteristics. It's relatively forgiving, and it's a great all-around blade steel. Is it for you? I don't know. That's for you to decide. All I can do is hopefully give you the knowledge so that you are better equipped and prepared for these decisions. Now, you're going to find a link in the description below to all of our A2 knives we currently have in stock in the description below. As always, folks, it's been me, TC, here with Smoky Mountain Knife Works, smkw.com. And remember, if it cuts like A2, then we carry it. All right. Go. Yeah. I like it. For hardenability. Yeah. Now, let me start that over. Take 2.